All right, it's Drew again from the Freedom Boat Club of West Michigan. Today we are joining you all from Muskegon Lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's a commercial lake. It's a lot of deep water. Just a super all-around lake with Lake Michigan access for all types of boating, sailing. There are some challenges as far as the lake, as far as water levels. And this is a continued segment of our water hazard mitigation team where we're pointing out some of the areas that are, probably what we would call a no-go zone or just be careful zones. But one of the beautiful things about this lake is there's a ton of area where you don't have to worry about it. We're just leaving our Freedom Boat Club port of Dockers right over my left shoulder. And then if you fan along the coast, you'll see the channel out to Lake Michigan, which is obviously an experience in of itself. A lot of the locals continuing to the right refer to that beach area over there as Beer Can Hill. Obviously, we want you to practice safe boating, but that's just a nickname that we've heard it called for years. But there's a couple spots around the lake. We'll point them out to you on a chart. But if you see a log or something, a hazard that you know of, shoot us a note. We'll post it. We'll get it out of there. If you see something floating in the water, I was out with the Marine Division this morning. We pulled a pretty sizable log out of the water with their team this morning. We want to make the water safe and accessible for everybody to enjoy, not just our members, because it's all of our precious resource to enjoy. And so we're going to give a little tutorial here of Muskegon Lake now. All right, guys, now we're out in the middle of Muskegon Lake, and we pulled out one of these charts that with the assistance of the Muskegon County Sheriff Marine Patrol Division, we marked some areas that you just want to use some caution. We are currently sitting right here off of the bankhead. Now, directly to the north is the BLT and the new BLT Tiki Bar. We'll get in over there and show you that. But there is a navigational aid, green 3 out here that you do want to pay attention to. You want to keep that on your right when you're going out to the channel. Remember, red right return, green on your right when you're going out to the bigger body of water. It tends to get real shallow in here real quick. So you want to yield to this side of green 3, which is right out here. Now, when you get along the shoreline, the whole northern shoreline of the lake can get rather shallow. There's some channel into the Bear Lake channel to get into Bear Lake, which is fed off of Muskegon Lake. But outside of a boat launch ramp down at the northern end of the lake, you really want to be careful where we have all this red marked here, because the water gets very shallow, and if you're in a bigger boat, you might find yourself in some trouble. When you get to the south side of the lake, you'll find that it's pretty open water everywhere. There is a couple shallow spots in here. There's a marina down in this area where it does have a channel. You do want to stay specifically in that. You've also got the new Hartshorn Marina. This is where the new Adelaide Point's going to go. They're dredging all that. And then we also have downtown where the USS LST Museum is, and that's a fun place to go. And then if you get to the other end of the lake, the east end of it, at Fisherman's Landing, the Sheriff's Department said they've been down there. It is very shallow on both sides of that. So just some words of caution out here on this lake, but you'll notice that all the white is deep, open, wonderful water for all types of boating, water sports, sailing. But the shorelines is where you do want to pay particular attention to. The western shoreline is pretty much of a drop-off when you're exiting Dockers, but hopefully this helps you get a better idea how Muskegon Lake is set up if you don't have a chart on board or you're not comfortable using maybe the electronics on your boat yet. There's an app called Navionics that we like that's basically having a live GPS right on your phone. But again, this is just to promote safe boating. It is National Safe Boating Week this week. And this way, hopefully, if you're unfamiliar with the Muskegon Lake, this will give you a little bit better idea of the go zones and some of the no-go areas where you want to be careful so you keep your boat in good shape, your family and friends safe, and you just have a wonderful day out here on these beautiful waters. Hey guys, now we're entering Bear Lake, by the new BLT Tiki Bar and the Bear Lake Tavern. As you can see, the clearance under this is quite low, so not any boat can make it under here. We've only cleared this by about I'll call it 2 feet, but we're in a Zodiac today, The center consoles with the towers probably wouldn't make it, and a lot of the tri-tunes, certainly not the water slide boat, but if you do have a higher boat, you definitely want to be careful before you make this approach because the bridge is just not forgiving. But other than that, this is just a beautiful setup. The Tiki Bar just opened up last weekend, but we have the new BLT Tiki Bar with tons of outdoor seating, brand new docks. They've just done a wonderful job with this, and it's just a wonderful destination to come enjoy a meal by water, in addition to dockers and the deck right outside the channel on the left as you're heading out to Lake Michigan. But we just want to point out that Bear Lake is a much shallower lake, and obviously the access to it is restricted depending on your boat. So don't make the mistake and let the bridge tell you you didn't make it. Really approach with caution because not every boat's going to be able to. All right, now we're coming off of Muskegon Lake. The channel out to Lake Michigan's just to my right. We are entering into the Harbor Town Marina area. They've got a great gas dock. Just off to our right here, you oftentimes see a lot of boats that are anchored and people will swim and go up on the beach. It's just a great little spot. Not a lot of lakes around here have inner lake beach access. Of course, the Lake Michigan side, there's tons, but you always want to be mindful of anchored boats and people swimming in the water when you're coming and going, not just here, but anywhere. But as we approach Harbor Town, where we're going to our Freedom Boat Club home location at Docker's Fish House, which is one of my favorite spots on the water. They have live music on the weekends, all sorts of fun stuff, super food, just a killer atmosphere for people to enjoy and come take a break off the water. And again, if you need fuel, they got it right here at Harbor Town. So if you want any more information about the Freedom Boat Club, we're doing this for everybody's enjoyment, but you can look us up at yourboatiswaiting.com or call us at 855-5-BOAT-ME. We can tell you about how the membership works. We have over 380 locations worldwide now, over 5,500 boats for our members to enjoy locally and reciprocally. It's all included in your membership. So if that's something that's of interest to you, where boating was never on your radar, we are a affordable alternative to owning a boat. We take care of everything. So, you know, if you have any questions, hit us up. Again, yourboatiswaiting.com. But again, thank you for your time, letting us help explain a little bit more about Muskegon Lake. Hopefully this helps you out if you've never been on it, or if you're just not familiar with it. Until the next time, we'll see you on the water.